That's one way we get together again. The other way is if we go home and we begin to do the things we must do, day in, day out, whether we feel like it or not, until we can attempt to get this done peacefully. And we come back here again with this full to celebrate what we were able to do without having to raise arms. That's the only two times we're coming back to here, I can tell you. I don't even like this town, to tell you the truth. Okay? I will come back here again to celebrate that we have turned the corner in this country and began to move it in the right direction. I want to make sure everybody understands. We had a lot of questions coming into this event once the call to action went out. Well, we're not sure we are on board if you're not taking tanks with you. All right? Well, we're not sure if we're on board if you're taking tanks with you. Both ends of the spectrum. Okay? Well, we're not sure we want you on board if you're making statements like that. Okay? You've got to understand, there are no silver bullets here. There's no 1 minute, one afternoon solutions, the next rally's going to get it done. No, it isn't. Okay? What has to happen is you start here and you carry it back home with you, and you begin to connect, and you begin to network, and you begin to talk to each other, and you begin to lead in each local community. Somebody asked me 2 years ago, how do you turn this country around? I said, it's easy. Turn 50 states around. There's 5 or 6 probably can't, but if we get 46 of them or so, we'll be all right. Okay? Well, then how do you turn 50 states around? It's easy. Turn one, and then another. Well, how about the one? Well, you got to turn your county around. Okay? And the way you do that is you stop accepting the status quo. We have huge problems in this country today, and they're here for one reason. Because we let a lot of little problems stack up. We had lots of opportunities to put this fire out while it was just smoldering. And we didn't do it. And when I say we, I'm talking about me. Okay? And if I'm not an exception to what I'm saying, then nobody else is. And so the way we begin to do this is every time you see a smoldering fire, the next time the ACLU comes into your town and files a suit on behalf of one family because the one family moved into your area because you have a good school district, and now they want to change the school district and get your teachers to stop allowing, and your school system to stop allowing prayer at the flagpole, outside the school, before school hours, or anywhere else, you and I need to take our local group with the backing of our national organizations, okay? And we need to run the ACLU right out of that town. Right out. Right out. When you go to your local church, and a pastor, excuse me, and a pastor stands up and talks about social justice and how Karl Marx was a brilliant person and how we ought to welcome all of the people who want to break and enter into our nation uninvited. You need to get your group together in your organization, in your area, with the support of a national organization, and you need to go set that reverend down. You need to go set him down and set him straight. Or you need to find a new preacher. Okay? You need to find a new preacher. That's the way it is. when they came after this country, people need to understand very clearly about something. Been a lot of talk about God, a lot of talk about country, and that's the way it needs to be. But people need to understand, when they came after this country, they went after the church first. And there's a reason for that. And if you're going to take this country back, you're going to have to take back the church first. I can tell you. There's no other way. Freedom is well suited for a moral society alone. No other. No other. You can disagree with it. You can not like it. You can debate it, but you can't run from it. That's just the way it is. The founders knew it, and we all know it. And it's time that we go back home and remind our local communities about it, including the local leadership at the church. And so one little fire at a time has to be put out. Nobody's there to do it but you and me, until we go find 2 or 3 others to help out. And then they find 2 or 3 others to help out. And one town at a time, one street at a time, one neighborhood at a time, one county at a time, one state at a time, we begin to turn this country around. And it's not what happens in politics. I want people to understand something, okay? Everybody thought the 2010 election cycle was going to turn the country around because it was successful as far as how we were gauging success in 2010. But has the country turned since 2010? No, it has not. Has it even slowed down towards the cliff since 2010? No. It has, in fact, accelerated towards the cliff since 2010. And let me tell you something. As you begin to push back, they're going to accelerate some more. I'll tell you right now. They will accelerate some more. And we're going to have to accelerate some more ourselves. God bless each and every one of you for who you are at home, for who you are every day, who you've been to this country. And I implore you, lock arms with your brothers and sisters. Do not accept no for an answer. Do not wait for the next politician to come solve the problem for you, because he isn't coming. There's a quote of mine from a column I'd written a while back, and I don't know if I can get it exactly right, but I'll paraphrase it because I think it's important for people to understand. You cannot get good government from an immoral society. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. You have to begin with the fundamentals, and that's exactly why you have to set the little special interest, personal pet peeves aside, and come together and speak with one voice about the fundamentals. Because if you can't do that, then the fundamentals, the foundation upon which everything else hinges, is not there. We got to put the foundation back and build from there. It took these people a little more than 100 years to do the destruction they've done to this country. But we're still here today, and nobody got arrested, and nobody got attacked, and nobody got spit on or anything else. We still have our First Amendment rights, and we still have things that our founding fathers did not have because of their sacrifices, but we will not have them much longer if we do not use them. See, they're all like a muscle. Without daily use will atrophy and eventually waste. And that's what freedom is. It's something that you have to use every day. That's what liberty is. It's something you have to use every day. That's what your right to speak is about. You have to use it every day. You can't let anything pass anymore. We let too much pass already. Do not. Every time you see something wrong, make it right. That's what has to happen here. Has anybody got that in them? That was not very convincing. I know that you do, because you're still standing here with us. I'm going to close this out. I bring Pastor Ed back up to close out for us. Stick around for his closing prayer, if you would, and our closing rendition of God Bless America together. We will stick around as we're breaking down the stage and talk one-on-one for a while. This event was put together quickly. I appreciate everybody immediately answering the call with little time and little opportunity to get it all together and get here. And from here on, what matters is not how many people there were here today or weren't here today, more important. What matters is what happens tomorrow morning, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. And it always happens the same way. It begins with one. And tomorrow morning, that one is you. It's not me. It is me in my community. But in your community, it's you. And that's where we have to start, and we have to get on with it very quickly. We got no time to waste, and we can no longer turn a blind eye towards anything. If you see a wrong, right it. Thank you one last time for everybody coming out. It's been a real pleasure, real honor. I hope to meet everybody at least for a few minutes before we go. We're going to get out of here before the sun drops the rest of the way down. It's been cold enough in the sun, huh? Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you again soon.